Hello, it's me again, der Bayer, and thanks to the support of all of you, more than 500 people are subscribed to my channel now. I'm absolutely stunned how quickly the view counts and watch times exploded after all of your comments, likes and subscriptions. I'd like to give something back, so I'm thrilled to announce an automation community challenge, one that will test your skills and push you to your limits. I am calling on all of you to design and build the ultimate race car for the legendary Le Mans race in 1960. This is not just any race, but a true test of endurance, speed and innovation. The Le Mans 24-hour race is a grueling test of man and machine, and you are asked to rise to the challenge and create a car that will not only survive, but thrive in this intense environment. The race was a sight to behold, with sleek and powerful cars from various manufacturers vying for the ultimate prize. The cars were not just machines, but they were symbols of human ingenuity and determination to push the limits of what was possible. Each car had its own story, its own triumphs and setbacks, its own unique character. Some were built for speed, others for endurance, but all of them had one goal in mind: to cross the finish line first and claim victory. As the drivers revved their engines and prepared to take off, one could feel the tension and excitement in the air. The roar of the engines echoed through the track, and the smell of gasoline and burnt rubber filled the air. But behind each car was a team of engineers, mechanics and designers who had poured countless hours into perfecting every detail. They had sacrificed sleep, time with their loved ones and their own physical and mental health to ensure that the car was at its best. And as the cars raced around the track, pushing themselves to their limits, one could not help but feel a sense of awe and admiration for the human spirit that had created such incredible machines. In the end, only one car could claim overall victory, but each car and its team had left their mark on history, forever remembered as symbols of human perseverance and innovation. The stakes are high and the competition will be fierce, but I know there are many automationeers that have what it takes to create something truly remarkable. This is your chance to make history, to leave your mark on the world of racing and to show the world what you are truly capable of. So let us begin this journey together, and let us push ourselves to the limit. Let us create something that will inspire future generations, and let us show the world what it means to be a true racing champion. The road ahead will be long and challenging, but we know that with your passion, dedication and hard work, anything is possible. Good luck and may the best car win. So how can you win this challenge? There is not a single way. Let's take a look at the various categories. An overall victory in Le Mans is not just about winning a race, it's about achieving the impossible. It's about pushing yourself and your team to the brink of exhaustion and beyond, to create a machine that can withstand the grueling 24-hour endurance race. It's about overcoming the odds and prevailing against the toughest competition in the world. A class victory in Le Mans may not carry the same prestige as an overall victory, but it's still a moment of collective triumph. It's a celebration of the team's ability to work together, to overcome challenges and to create a machine that can compete with the best in the world. It's a validation of their long hours, sleepless nights and endless dedication. The index of thermal efficiency in the Le Mans race is a category that may not be well known to everyone, but it carries a powerful meaning. It's a measure of the car's ability to convert fuel into energy, and it represents the pinnacle of efficiency in motorsports. Well, it's not only about outright speed, it's a celebration of the engineer's ability to innovate and push the boundaries of what is possible in the world of motorsports. The pole position in the Le Mans race is not just a mere starting point on the grid. It's a symbol of excellence, hard work and determination. It represents the culmination of countless hours of practice, sacrifice and dedication. While it is not important in a 24-hour endurance race, it's the ultimate reward for those who have given their all to creating the fastest car of its time. And the last category is a celebration of the beauty and artistry of race car engineering. When form follows function, often a work of art is created. This is a community vote. So after this introduction brought to you by ChatGPT, let's talk about how do you actually enter the race, which cars can participate and what are the boundary conditions. First of all, the car classes. In general, we are racing with two different types of cars. One are open-top sports prototypes and one are road-going closed-top Grand Touring cars. You see here that we have different capacity classes, so according to the engine capacity, your car will be placed into one of these classes, for the class win for example, but all of the cars will race on the same track and will be put against each other. Depending on the engine capacity, you also have a different maximum fuel tank size, but the actual fuel tank size will also be determined by your footprint of the car, so that not very small cars can have very large tanks. It is important to notice that sport prototypes can go up to 3 liters of capacity and Grand Touring cars up to 5 liters. So the technical regulations are summarized here. For a written summary all in one view, you can go to the automation forum, where you will also have to enter your car and send it to me in a direct message. First of all, the trim year obviously is 1960 and also the model should be from this year. Then, as I said earlier, we have the car body type. The sports prototypes need to be open, Grand Touring need to be closed. But it is important to note that you are allowed to chop a roof off of a closed automation body, so it does not need to have the convertible tag. The engine position for sports prototypes is unrestricted. Grand Touring cars should have them in the front or in the rear. No mid-engine, because Grand Touring cars are 4-seaters or 2+2s basically. The minimum wheelbase for both categories is 2 meters. Mod bodies are allowed, so in case you find a nice one in the workshop, it's possible to use it. In case there's anything really weird going on, I might need to disallow mod bodies. So in case you think something is weird about a specific body, please also let me know, and we might need to have a rule change here, but for now I think it's fine. So at least I eliminated all the weird bodies with the minimum wheelbase already. But it could also be possible that I just disqualify any meme kind of entries, so please make sure to enter proper cars. And the tech pool is different from the standard tech pool, so please make sure that you set your tech pool to this value. For sports prototypes, car body +2, aerodynamics +5, chassis +5, drivetrain +5, all others must be 0. For Grand Touring, you just get car body +2, all others must be 0. Now let's go to the engines. In general, also here, family and variant year must be 1960. Maximum production units, 110 for sports, 100 for Grand Touring. Engineering time, 150 for sports prototypes and 120 for Grand Touring. Fuel type, 110 RON for sports prototypes, 98 for Grand Touring. Tech pool, 0 all the way through the bank, so again, make sure to set those values. Then, as I said earlier, maximum engine capacity 3 and 5 liters. The regulations for the car. Here again, just to repeat it, model and trim year 1960, make sure that this is actually set. Production units 125 and 100. Engineering time 85 and 105. That basically means sports prototypes cannot be monocoques, or only if you sacrifice a lot of other things. Drive type, just to make sure there's no exploits, no 4-wheel drive. Same with differentials, no manual or automatic lockers. Tires must be cross-ply, as racing tires back in the day have been like that. Maximum tire quality you can set manually is +5 for sports prototypes and 0 for Grand Touring. Aerodynamics, you are not allowed to place wings, lips or spoiler fixtures. For Grand Touring you are also not allowed to place the undertray, but I think this is also not possible because you don't have the tech pool for it. So if you have adjustable downforce sliders, you made something wrong. Then minimum safety 0 for sport prototypes and 20 for Grand Touring. We have more regulations. The paint should be period correct. That means cars typically raced in typical national colors. You can find the list of international auto racing colors on Wikipedia for all of the major countries. If your country is not on that list, just do something that seems reasonable. I will not disqualify you if you're not in the list, or just keep it somewhat basic and in the style of the other paints there in the list. Basic racing stripes can be added to your livery even in case they are not mentioned in this list of national colors. Important also is no sponsored decals. Sponsoring was only possible in motorsports on the car from 1968 onwards. And of course you also need to have racing numbers. Those should be plain white or black, or a black number within a white circle. You may choose any number you like, 1 or 2 digits, and you need to place it on the bonnet, on the trunk and on both sides of the car. So this is just to have some visually pleasing entries which can be voted for in the beauty contest. Then let's go to the naming. The car model should be named LM, and then your automation forum name. The car trim is your car name, so brand and model. And the engine family, same, LM and your automation forum name. And the engine variant is free again, you can type in whatever engine code you want. Example, if I wanted to enter something, then I would enter the model and the engine as LM der Bayer and can enter whatever in the trim and variant. So how are the winners determined? Overall, the distance you can travel within 24 hours is important, and this is calculated with a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is linked below and also in the post on the automation forum, which is also linked below, so that you can optimize yourself for the maximum distance and time. So this not only depends on the raw track time you have on the Le Mans track, which is also linked below for download. It also depends on your car's drivability, reliability and fuel consumption. Class victory is basically the same. It's just not that every car is competing against each other. You are just competing against other cars from your class. Index of thermal efficiency is a complicated formula which typically favored small French cars, and this is automatically calculated also in the spreadsheet, so you can use that. Higher numbers are better. Pole position is just a pure automation track time from standing start. And the beauty contest is a community vote. The community vote will also contribute a bit to the overall distance over time. So beautiful cars will get bonus laps or less laps deducted from their actual speed, just to basically favor more beautiful cars, to give you an incentive to design somewhat at least basic. The differences should be small enough to only make a position or two, and if you really want to win, you might also need to spend some time on designing the car. Then let's go to how you enter. So you go to the automation forum, link below, make an account, read the challenge description again, then build the car. You can only build one car, so not one per category, not one per sports cars or Grand Touring, no, just one single car. You double check the rules, export the car, and then send it to me in a private message on the automation forum. Once you have submitted the car, your entry is done. You are not allowed to revise it. I will just accept a single entry because I expect quite a few entries and I want to somewhat limit the work from my side. Then, of course, the deadline for entries is important. This is Saturday, August 26th, so still quite a bit of time, 8 AM in the morning in Europe, and I will have a bit of time to then finalize the summary. I hope to be quick to publish it. The summary will be done in a video form here on YouTube. So, what if you need help? How to install the track? How to min-max with the spreadsheet? How to measure fuel efficiency, and how to build a decent car and enter. Hints come now in this video. So let's go to how to install the track. You download the track pack, link below, and put the contents here in your user folder, app data, local, automation game, saved, user data, tracks. It should look like this. The Le Mans 1955 track should be on this level, and then you can select it on the automation test track page. The min-maxing spreadsheet. Link is in the description. You can use it to estimate your overall performance, the distance and the index of thermal efficiency. I will also show how to use that a bit later. And then how to measure the fuel efficiency. This is a bit complicated, as I don't just want to take the automation fuel efficiency number and multiply it, because Le Mans is mostly run at top speed and the fuel consumption number is not representative for that. I came up with my own formula. So you note down the RPMs where you have maximum torque, maximum power, and your RPM limit. These are nicely visible in the engine power chart. And then you read out the efficiency values for the engine at these RPMs. So at 100% throttle, you check the efficiency. So it's at the very top of the fuel efficiency diagram. You take these numbers, enter them in the spreadsheet, and then you will get your maximum time you can go on a single tank, and it will automatically calculate from there how many pit stops you will take and how long you are in the pits and how many laps you may make overall. You don't have to do that if you don't want to use the spreadsheet, but I would advise to do so that you can tune your car a bit to be more successful in the end. So now let's go to how to build a decent car, and I will explain it with my reference car. It's not entered, but it's a somewhat feasible car in the 1.15 liter sports car prototype class. So here we are with my wonderful reference car. Look at it. Isn't that a 10 in the beauty contest? Yeah, unfortunately it's not entering. Yeah, let's go through how to build a decent car and also how to adhere to the rules and how to use the spreadsheet. So first of all, what you should do, go here, check your sandbox tech pool. Engine must be all 0, and this is the setup you need to use for the sports cars. If you are using the GT category, you should put everything to 0 except for body. You go here to +2. Then for a sports car, you don't have a lot of engineering time, so typically leather space frame should be what you are going for. Also probably fiberglass or aluminium to make it light. Double wishbone is always a good choice for sporty cars, and I went for front engine configuration in this case, lore reasons basically. For the engine family, let's take a look. I took a 4-cylinder engine for this one. Pretty advanced, still well under the limits here, so these are the only real limits you need to take a look at for the engine. So yeah, what's also important is of course fuel system. Here F-gas is possible for sports cars, and else just production units and engineering time is important. Let's go through the engine, I guess. So typically race engines are shorter stroke than bore, just to make them rev higher, to make more power. So here I am also able to extract 127 horsepower from 1.15 liters. That's quite good. So advanced cam, of course, strong lifters is what's necessary. Make sure you use all of the octane you have. You want this one to turn into yellow, then you have a pretty good tune, and you make it go into yellow by adjusting compression mostly. Then make sure to have enough flow to adjust carbs and the intake sizes. Yeah, this one, the intake manifold, is something you can try out yourself what's better. Race of course is not so good for reliability, but gives more power. So it depends on what you're going for. And then exhaust, also check your exhaust sizes. Check if you can afford race or if you want to go for long tubular only. And that's basically it. For the car, I have here a 60s car. I chose a mod body. Mod bodies are possible, just make sure they are long enough, so wheelbase above 2 meters. And else, manual gearbox I think is pretty clear. Crossblade tires. You can play around with the different tire compounds. They do have a big impact also on the top speed for crossblade tires, so you might want to check those out. Braking stuff, just make sure they are set up nicely. Aerodynamics, I can take semi-clad to make it go faster here in the sports prototype class. And here in the interior you typically go for basic. You don't need to have 2 seats. I just put that here for also for lower reasons. So the race car can only have one seat, and I don't need safety here. For the sports prototypes, you can go for safety if you need it. For the GT car, because my car would not be safe enough for the GT category. Yeah, and that's basically it. Make sure your suspension is somewhat tuned for drivability or sportiness to make it go fast, extract cornering potential from it. And that's basically it. Then here you can choose the Le Mans track and let it run. This is my time I got. And if I go now to the spreadsheet, I have here all basically in the upper half the input and the final result. This is what is important to you. You must fill all of the white boxes with data from the game, and then it will do all the calculations automatically. So let's go through. On top there's the sports prototype or GT selection. You just enter S or GT. Then engine capacity, footprint, mass. Maybe I show you where you find the footprint. So the footprint is here in the middle, yeah, on top. Make sure to use metric units, of course. You enter here the lap time from the track in minutes and seconds. Then drivability and reliability. You can get that with decimal numbers here. The automation fuel consumption here. And then where it becomes interesting is 3 additional fuel measurement points. 1 at peak torque, 1 at peak power, 1 at peak RPM. So from my engine, those are the values. So 8,300 RPM, 8,800 and 9,000 RPM. And then you get your fuel efficiency from there. I do it once for the 8,300 in this case. So I go here and see that I have at 8,300 RPM, 100% throttle, 26.5%, and I enter that here. And I also enter how much power the engine makes there. So I go to 8,300 RPM here, roughly, and I enter that here. I made a mistake there. And then do that for the other 2 measurement points as well, and estimate how well your car looks. I gave myself an 8, from 0 bad and to 10 beautiful, and then I get overall my performance is 275 laps. So every car will finish. The performance is just limited also by drivability and reliability. So I take into account how many driver errors there are going to be made, and I also estimate the number of repairs and time of repairs, and this will all limit your performance. So here you see 275 laps, and after 24 hours, after 4 additional minutes, you cross the line. So in case anybody has also 275 laps but less time after 24 hours, he will be in front of you. Also calculate the average speed, which is important for the index of thermal efficiency. Index of thermal efficiency depends on, let's check, the car mass, the average speed over time, and also the fuel consumption. So we will measure how much fuel you need in general over the whole race, and this goes into this complex and weird equation. So if you get this above 1, you should be pretty good. Yeah, so that's basically it, how you use this spreadsheet. Again, you don't need to use it. If you want to min-max your car, then you can. So that's it for now. I hope those of you who like to enter have fun building their cars. I'm looking forward to great engineering choices, great car designs, and I'm just curious about how many laps you will be able to squeeze out of your cars. See you all again soon. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.